About 45 minutes south of Cairo is a small open-air museum of Memphis. Memphis was at one time the capital of ancient Egypt for more than 1,000 years. Little remains of this once great city. Most of its treasures were looted, leaving very few items to view. Most of the artifacts have been gathered for display in the museum.
And by the beginning of the last century, the Egyptian government decided to surround, the site and make it under control. And they decided also to collect, the several pieces scattered here and there.
In the center of the complex is a beautiful alabaster sphinx, the second largest in Egypt. Although there is no inscription on it, it most likely belongs to Pharaoh Heb-Seb, the only female pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Another great artifact is from one of the greatest pharaohs of all time. Now we all know pharaohs such as Cleopatra and King Tut. The greatest pharaoh of all times has to be Ramses the Great.
Just look what's behind. You can see a kind of human hand. Can you see that? As we say nowadays, it's behind every great man we have, suppose. So this is the first lady. This is Nefertari, one of the most famous queens in ancient Egypt. It is the only queen ever got a temple of herself.
Ramses II fathered about 158 children. Son number 13, the lucky one, took to the throne after Ramses' death. Ramses died at around the age of 95 or 96. When his son came to the throne, he was in his 60s. This great statue once stood about 49 feet in height and was constructed in Aswan and brought to Memphis by boat. The artisans of the statue didn't miss anything. It is highly proportioned and very detailed. But time has worn it down to 30 feet, but it is still a sight to behold. Another wonderful sight to visit while in the Memphis area is the funerary complex of the 3rd dynasty pharaoh Zoser in Saqarra. The complex was designed by Imhotep, whose designs were groundbreaking, but he wasn't confident of his designs. That's why the columns in the hypostyle hall are all connected to the wall.
Over here, it is the first shrine to have such style, such design of columns. And the architect who started this work, he wasn't quite sure and confident of himself to erect that big number of columns. How many in total? We have like 42 columns.
Wandering through the hall, which has been partially reconstructed, is a highlight for many visitors. Another highlight of the complex is the Great South Court, part of which has also been rebuilt. The court is dominated by the 6-tiered pyramid of the pharaoh and is considered the first pyramid built by man.
This pyramid was discovered by the middle of the 19th century. And how many funeral jars they found? They found thousands of them, weight like 90 tons. It's of every kind of stone you can imagine.
Prior to its construction, pharaohs were buried beneath rectangular mastabas. Imhotep created a pyramid by stacking 6 increasingly smaller mastabas on top of each other. Later pharaohs took it a step further to create the pyramids seen at Giza and elsewhere.
Bottom, we have got a very complicated net of interior corridors and tunnels. It's like a big maze, and they are all decorated by blue tiles.
Gosh, this is just absolutely amazing seeing all this old stuff. Wanted to come ever since I was a little kid, and I'm just really amazed how old this stuff is and how long it's lasted, and that it's still here even before all the stuff in Rome and in Italy, as old as that stuff is too. It's just absolutely phenomenal.
Now most people go to Egypt to see pyramids, and there was no other place better to see pyramids than Saqqara. By walking around the complex, you will see at least 12 other pyramids. Unfortunately though, the landscape is littered with failures that did not withstand the test of time and are now nothing more than a pile of rocks. No, Giza's far away. If you are curious of what the man who this complex was built for looked like, then head to the back of the pyramid, and you will find a statue of Zoser, the pharaoh who started the Pyramid Age.